Cameron writes in, he says, why does Paul bring up the issue of Jews not being sinners and juxtapose that to Gentiles who are from Galatians who are from Galatia in Galatians 2:15? Also, along with that, what are any arguments from mainstream Christianity on this verse, and how is what I see as a very large point overlooked when condemning those of us who would say that the commands are an obligation because of and from a place of love for Messiah? So let's go to Galatians 2:15. I'm sure that Rob already has it memorized, so he can just go ahead and rattle that off whenever he wants.
I should probably pull it up, though. Let me do
Justified by faith, I'm starting in 15. We ourselves are Jews by birth and not Gentile sinners. Yet we know that a person is not justified by works of the law, but through faith in Jesus Christ. So we also have believed in Christ Jesus in order to be justified by faith in Christ and not by works of the law, because by works of the law, no one will be justified. Rob, you want to take this? I'm going to look up another.
Sorry, I'm still trying to find it. We're in Galatians 2.
2, yep. You can tell how prepared we are. Actually, the preparation that I did for this is actually in a different verse or in a different passage, so I'm actually looking that up right now. One of the things that I think is interesting is the different uses of the word Gentile throughout scriptures, right? So Gentiles are seen in a good light. Yeah, and Lee hits the nail on the head on this, by the way, in the chat room. He says, he just means the Jews were not born into idolatry. In this passage, he does. That's correct. But listen to what he says, for instance, in Ephesians 17 through 20. He says, now this I say and testify in the Lord, that you must no longer walk as the Gentiles do, in the futility of their minds. They are darkened in their understanding, alienated from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them due to their hardness of heart. So here what we see is we see Gentiles being used almost as unbelievers. That term is being used as unbelievers. Yet in Romans, he uses Gentiles as the people who are saved, not over and against, but they've accepted Christ. The Gentiles have accepted Christ over the Jews. And it's interesting because certain people will say, well, the Gentiles in Romans is the church. And so in his different letters, Paul uses the term Gentiles very differently. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah, but context is always crucial.
Right.
Back to 2:15, Galatians.
Yep.
So, this is one of those. I've only got the Greek in front of me, but I know that there's a lot of different English translations. So I think one of those Bible Hub or Bible Gateways, you can pull up like all 50 or plus English translations. So that's always a good thing to do. But if I heard you right from what Lee said, yeah, he's saying we by nature are Jews, and we are not sinners from among the Gentiles. So one of the core points here is that people are feeling that to be Jewish is to be something special that somehow you obtain. You obtain through works to become the ideal Jewish male. That has to be performed through obeying the traditions of the elders, through obeying the traditions of the fathers. And this is against conversion. To say, look, Paul's saying, look, to be Jewish just is by nature, right? To be a Jewish person is just something you were, like Caleb just said, it's just a matter of birth. It's not a matter of performance. You don't perform your way to being a Jew, but we know that there are Gentiles in the Messianic movement who paid some rabbi, and converted, quote unquote, to become Jewish. Now they think they're Jewish, and they've got,
they down Gentiles for being Gentiles. They tell Gentiles you're not supposed to keep the laws.
Yeah. Now I keep. See, I jumped the fence.
Yeah, exactly.
I jumped the fence. So now all these commandments are for me, but you just stay Gentile. But I could. Yeah, it's so silly.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.